Yay, I'm so excited you're here. Welcome back to another episode of the Snarky in the Suburbs podcast. Welcome, 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 Snarky friends. Okay, this episode, there's a lot, people. We have a Dear Snarky letter that I have no expertise in answering because it's about sex. Y'all, clutching my pearls. I'm not talking about that. But I'll talk about it just a smidge. Then, in the peeve department, I'm peeving because I'm tired of people telling me what to do. Stop it, people. I'm a grown woman. I don't want to be told what to do. That ship has sailed. Then in the observation department, y'all, this excites me. It's about luxury handbags and all the dupes. And now the dupes are so good that you have to have a microscope. Look at the bag with a microscope to tell that it's a dupe. This brings me pleasure. Not that I carry a luxury bag and not that I would buy a dupe, but still, it brings me pleasure. Then in the Snarky Confession from the Snarky Confession I, y'all, I've never been to a family reunion that I haven't hated. I mean, they've all been bad. Let's examine that. Let's go deep on that. Maybe I'm just a hater. Maybe that's who I am. I don't think so. You know, this may surprise a lot of you, but basically I'm a very positive person. My family will back that up. I mean, I'm sarcastic and a wee bit of a bitch. But positive. And my goal with this podcast right now is to get through it without banging on my desk. I even have Post-it notes. Don't bang on the desk. So, sorry. I'm going to try so hard. Okay, let's get to the letter because I can't wait to read your comments. Okay, here we go. Dear Snarky, I'm 61, divorced for about 3 years, and I've been dating a man 63 somewhat seriously for a year. This gentleman has been hinting around about getting married. He's a good guy, but there is no, all caps on that no, chemistry for me, at least in the bedroom department. This man just doesn't have any talent in that area, and I don't think he wants to learn new things, like the basic skill of pleasing a woman. Oh my God. So, if we get married, I think it would be more like a friendship roommate situation, except for rare trips to the bedroom. I've made a pros and cons list of getting married to him. And there's lots more pros. He's successful, has a good retirement, including a lovely home, likes to travel, and his adult children seem normal. The only major con, and it's a big one, is the bedroom. At my age, do I need to realize that this is my life now, or should I not settle and cut him loose and keep on dating? Sign, I still got it, and I want it, but I guess men my age can't do it. Okay. Dear, I still got it. Okay. This may sound terrible, but why do you want to get married again? I mean, you're 61. Why do you want to get married? You've been divorced for a couple years. I don't get that. I'm telling you, at my age, 64, if I get divorced or God forbid something happened to my husband, no, I would make my life complete with my friends, my children, and be in a long-term committed relationship with myself, my dog, and my cat. I know I've discussed this before on the podcast, but it confuses me. Why do you need to get married? So he's got money, doesn't mean he's going to spend it on you. He's got a nice house, doesn't mean he's not going to sell that house and say, let's, go to a retirement community with 2 bedrooms or something. What else did you say you had going for him? He likes to travel. Honey, you don't need a man to travel. And his adult children seem normal. Keyword there is seem. I mean, adult kids can turn on you pretty quick, especially if they think you're after their daddy's money if he's got some money. Yeah, they'll be turning on you. Normal? We'll see how long that lasts. Okay, that big ha. Sorry. Maybe I have to wipe my nose. Sorry, TMI, but I'm not going to stop TMIing. I'm kind of a fan of TMI a little bit. None of this in the pros requires a man. Your con does require a man because you like men. But it doesn't because there's a lot of fun devices out there. So that doesn't even require a man. Not at all. So I don't understand wanting to get married. You're giving up a lot to get married. You're young. 61 is the new 41, baby. I mean, did I make that up? I don't know, probably not, but come on. Because that would make me 44, and I am there for that. It's just too much. And like I said, these pros, they're not that great. I'm sure you're pretty successful. I'm sure you've been saving for your retirement. I'm sure you've got a home that you like, and you don't need him to travel. So why get married? Don't settle for a man, okay? Think more of yourself. And I'm telling you right now, like I said, if I didn't have a husband anymore, one, I would never get remarried again. Had the best, don't want the rest. Also, I don't want to be a wife to another man, not at my age. I would prefer my independence. I don't want to take care of a man. I don't want to do another man's laundry. It's okay if your husband, you've been married for a long time. I'm sure when he's gone, if he predeceases me, I will miss doing his laundry, but not for another man. Sorry, not going to do it. So I would think, why do I want to settle for this? 100%. And let's talk about the bedroom a little bit. Something that, what do I know, okay? I know enough, though. I would have no interest in any man that at his age, what is he, 63, that does not know any of the arts of pleasing a woman. It means he's lazy with a capital L, and he doesn't care. And I'm going to tell you right now, someone that is lazy in the bedroom is lazy in the overall relationship. Doesn't care. So, he's going to get what he needs, and then that's it. So, ew, that's a red flag waving. Even if you take the sexual part out of it, he's just lazy, and he cares about his own needs. And yours, maybe not. So, no, God, no. Don't marry this guy. Go out and date. Honey, be a cougar. Date younger men. Experience life. I bet you were married for a long time before you got divorced. Get out there, mix it up with younger men, no strings attached. Have some fun if that's what you want. But don't think you have to get married. Absolutely not. I even have a pact with my friend. If we are both widows and we're getting older, we're going to live with each other. We like each other's children. We're both really low maintenance, and I enjoy our company, which is more than I can say for a lot of men. So, yuck, no. This guy sounds gross. I'm sorry. And who wants to be married to somebody when, walking to the bedroom is a death march? Oh, God, no, yuck. I hope this doesn't take long. Who wants that? No one. No one wants that. So this is my advice from a non-therapist perspective, okay? Just from an older woman perspective. Ditch this dude. Go out and date. Have some fun. And you don't need a guy. You do not need a guy. Don't listen to your girlfriends that are married, how you need a guy, and all that BS. Honey, they're just jealous that you're going to be out there getting some. So don't listen to that. You don't need him. Dump him. Once again, I can't stress this enough. Any guy that's lazy in the bedroom and apparently has never wanted to learn, any knowledge about women is not a man you want to marry. Trust me on that one. Okay? I don't know a lot, but I know that. All right. Now, y'all let me know what you think in the comments because I'll be dying to read them. Oh, speaking of comments, my last podcast where I talked about how I was ghosted and I said I wanted 3 people to tell me, oh my God, how could someone ghost you? Okay, it was more than 3 and it made me happy. I was like the Grinch where my heart grew reading those comments. Thank you for telling me that, y'all. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Okay, now on to my peeve. There's a letter attached to this peeve, people. Okay, my peeve. And this has hurt my feelings. Not really. Because here's the deal. If you're going to go on podcasts and social media and yak about yourself, people are going to come for you. And that's okay. And if you're sensitive and get your feelings hurt easily, don't do it. Okay. Are people complaining about me talking about my books? Okay. I will say, oh, read my books, they're really good, like on TikTok and Instagram or whatever, basically seconds. And then I decided I would talk about my books here in a summer book series. There's only 5 books, people. You have to suffer through it for 5 podcast episodes. Get over it. And it's 2 minutes. I timed one. It was 2 minutes. And it's at the end of the podcast, so you can just quit listening. But people have said, stop with your book talking. It ruins the pod. Well, Okay, quit listening. All right, quit listening. This one woman wrote me, and I'm not going to come for her. It's actually pretty funny because I answered her very snarkily, and she said, you know, she was nice. I mean, if she called me today and said, hey, I'm in town. Do you want to go get a Diet Coke? I'd be sure. I'll be there in 5. So anyways, but this is what she wrote me, you guys, on Instagram. First, she starts with, I think you're fabulous. And that is definitely the way to go. But it gets bad. She goes, I've agreed with all your advice. But hawking your books, bold-faced people, bold-face. Ugh. Have you considered using your writing talent to create an advertisement to be read as a 30-second or 1-minute spot at the beginning of the pod? Or wait for it in between the reading of your letter and your advice? Maybe have a friend read it. I think your main business is going to be the podcast and other socials, and you don't want to turn off your followers with something so easily fixed. I think you'll get a better response to your books if you back off a bit. Other authors with podcasts use this method, and I think it's best. Well, I wrote her back and said, here's the deal. I'm going to hawk my books because one thing I'm proud of, it's my books. Another thing, would you rather I hawk like Uber Eats or that new, like, all those feminine products that they give to female podcasters to hawk? One of them is the new, like, audio books with, erotica for the female gaze. Would you rather I do that? I'm hawking something I created that I'm proud of. I'm telling kind of the backstory to the books. So, bitch, back off, okay? Back off. So, of course, I wrote her back, and she was nice and goes, oh, my God, as snarky as I thought you would be. So, no hate. And I would go out for a Diet Coke with her. But, y'all, what's with people getting mad about me talking about my books? Dear God, there are no ads in these podcasts, are there? There could be ads on YouTube, but get over it. It's just me yakking. There are some podcasts that have so many ads, my little finger's just like, fast forwarding. Can't stand it. But my books, y'all, it's personal. It's personal. It's like you're being mean to me about my children. Okay, not really. But, get over it. I'm not shutting up. I am not shutting up. I do not see how me, doing ads about something else is okay, but me talking about something I care about and created, maybe it is like my children. Oh, my. You should be pissing people off so much. Jeez, I was about to take the Lord's name in vain and stop myself. So there you go. Let me just say, geez Louise, get over it. And who wants the podcast interrupted with me talking about my books? At least I save it till the end because you know what I am? I'm your friend. I'm a good person. So that really sucks and it really just irritates me. It's like, shut up, people. Shut up. It's a small price to pay for this genius. Actually, just kidding. But come on, let it go. Just stop watching, okay? Or listening. It's at the end. Go on to another podcast. Let me know what you think. Yeah, go ahead and tell me, oh God, I wish you wouldn't hawk your books. Well, I'm not hawking anything else, so consider yourself lucky. Okay, I'm over it. Not really, but that is my peeve. They're my books, people. Have some respect. Really, have some respect. Oh, and another thing that got to me in this one, or maybe have a friend read it. Is my voice not okay? I gotta go get a friend to read it? No, absolutely not. Okay, now I'm done with that peeve. Okay, now let's go to the observation, and this one is cracking me up. First, a backstory. No, I'll go to the story. I'll go to that later. Okay, so read an article in the Wall Street Journal, and then I've read a bunch different stuff, and especially I think it started with the tariffs, and then we found out that most luxury bags, Hermes, Chanel, or whatever, are actually made in China, except for a very small percentage. I think in France and Italy, you can have your bags made overseas, and if you do a small percentage of the final work, like a stitch work, somebody said 3 stitches, then you can put a made in France or made in Italy on it. So they've been outsourcing those bags for a while, and you're just, these bags are made in the same shop where, I don't know, what's a bag? I don't know. Bags at Targets are made. I don't know. They have nice leather, whatever. But it cracked me up because I've always been anti-luxury bag. Okay. So this brought me pleasure and great delight. I'm like, well, there you go. You're paying all that money. Like a Chanel bag is thousands of dollars, upwards of $5,000. And those Hermes bags, am I even saying it right? Hermes? Are they $25,000 and stuff, which is absolutely ridiculous. No. No. But people have money and they can spend it how they want, but still, ugh, no. Yeah, 80% of all those bags are made in China. And then I was reading an article in the Wall Street Journal where the fakes have gotten so good, like the same leather, everything, that people like luxury handbag sites or whatever, they have to put the bags under a microscope. Why can't I say microscope? Oh, I just said it. Yay me. To like check, like, apparently it's really hard to make that Hermes label on a bag in the brass or whatever look really good under a microscope, and that's how they're telling. But they're saying it's it's even hard for like a professional that whose job is to identify like the dupes from the real thing. Can't tell without the use of like a microscope. So I don't know if I'd ever buy a luxury bag again, if I've ever bought a luxury bag, because here is my tale. Okay, we're going back to it. Since I was a college student, I went to Baylor. Oh my God, every single damn bitch at that school had a Louis Vuitton. I mean, you couldn't swing your like backpack and not hit somebody with a Louis Vuitton. But okay, this was like, I went to school in the early 80s. People didn't even carry backpacks. You were like lugging your books like this. Sorry, I forget that not everyone can see me on YouTube, but I was doing like, a lugging motion there. So everyone, both of my roommates had Louis Vuittons. And then like people had Rolexes. I'm sitting there like, I got nothing, people. I think, what was that store that was big? Do you guys remember Mervyn's back in the day? It was I don't even think we had a Target. I'm like getting some like macrame bag from Mervyn's and I'm fine because I was raised in a household where my mother hated anything with a label on it. She even told me I could not wear the Ralph Lauren polo shirts because she didn't like the polo pony. She's like, you're better than that. You don't need to wear that. Or like, the time honored, why are you advertising their products for them? Your parents probably did the same rant. So like anything with a label, no, you don't get it. Whatever. So then that was in my DNA and I passed that down to my daughter. If she's got nice stuff, okay, but there's no label on it. Absolutely not. I wouldn't be kind of dead with a Louis Vuitton, probably because she can't afford one, nor could I afford to buy her one. And if I could, I wouldn't. So, it's good to say that. Let's just leave it there. But anyways, they all had Louis Vuittons. And a lot of those Louis Vuittons were fake. And then, I move into suburbia and like, once again, every bitch has a Louis Vuitton. I mean, as a general course of action, I assume all of them are fake because so many of them are fake. So when I see somebody with Louis Vuitton, even if it's like a real one, okay, a bougie real one, I'm like, it's fake. It's, because every single one is fake. So that's how I feel about luxury bags. And then didn't recently like Walmart like knock off an Hermes bag? And so like, not that I would know a Hermes bag if I saw one, but I just assume every designer bag is fake. So I'm like, why spend the money if people are just going to think it's fake? But that's just me. So this like made me laugh. It made me laugh. It's like my mom knew something. My mom knew that, you're just paying a lot for a label and you shouldn't do it. So a shout out to my mom, who is no longer with us. She was fabulous. And we're going to get to my mom later on. So just stay with me, people. Stay with me. So yeah, it makes me laugh and it brought me happiness that all of these bags are made in China. People are paying all this money because they're dumb. They're dumb. And I get people feeling special about carrying a bag like that. I do understand that. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have some, two expensive purses. They're Parker Thatch, I think. They're expensive, great leather. Ooh, I have a pretty suede one. And I'll buy an expensive bag, but that bag's not having a label on it. I don't want anybody to know. I mean, I'm not doing that. Once again, my mother. And my daughter has like two really nice bags, very expensive bags. I think I helped her buy, or I think I bought both of them. No label. You don't know where those from. They're lovely, lovely leather goods. But anyways, and if you buy really nice leather, it lasts a long, long time. I have purses from like 15 years ago because they're really nice leather. But anyways, shut up about purses. I'm bored now. That's what you're saying to yourself. So I'm moving on. I'm just telling you the fact that people are paying all that money for something, that 80% or 90% was made in China gives me a giggle. Okay, people? It just gives me a giggle. Does that make me a bad person? No, not really. Okay? All All right. And you're thinking, you're just jealous. I'm not, because that's not my jam. I'm jealous about a lot of stuff, but like a big fancy purse, no, I don't care. Okay, now we're going to move on to my confession. And my confession, I have to say it again. I love whispering from the Snarky Confessional. I hate family reunions. I have never been to a family reunion. Every family reunion I've been to, it hasn't made me sad, but it's made me realize that both sides of my husband's family and my family, they're a little crazy. Let me admit that. They are a lot crazy, as in bat shit. I haven't been to a family reunion on my mother's side of the family. First, my dad. Oh my God. My dad was like an orphan. He never met his father. And then he met his mother like when he was 20 something, already married and had one kid. And she was really weird. Like, my dad never talked about it, but my mom, when we got older, told us. She's like, yeah, she was really weird. Then she looks at me and says, and you look just like her. I'm like, okay. So I'm carrying that around in my brain. I look like a woman who birthed my father and just like left a newborn. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Appreciate that. I'm sure she didn't know what she was doing, but it haunts me, people. I didn't like hearing that. And, so my dad had no family. And then my mom's family, when we were little, we went to exactly 2 family reunions. And then my dad said no. So here's the problem with my mom's side of the family. Oh, a lot of crazies. So when we went to the first family reunion and the subsequent second one, I think until my dad put his foot down, my dad would shadow me and my sister. He would shadow us. Like, we were told, you stay with your dad. And then my mom shadowed my brothers. And then I find out later in life that this is because we had some crazy second uncles, you know what I mean there, oh my God, so this is what you do. So yeah, that was frightening. And then another thing is that a lot of cousins were married to each other, like first cousins. And apparently that was legal. And I researched this. Okay, guys, in 38 states, it's legal to marry your first cousin. I thought that was like a no can do, but apparently it's a can do. So yeah, anyways, that was weird. And I met these people and they were related. And my dad was so bad that people would come up to him and compliment him on his children. And he would go, yeah, it probably helps out that, my wife and I aren't related. So, the kids were better. I don't know. But my mom got so mad at him at one of the 2 reunions, she sent him to get ice and he was gone for 2 hours. He's like, I'm out of here. I am out of here. And I think he took my brothers with him. Yeah, because of the weirdo cousins or uncles and all that kind of stuff. When someone calls themselves an uncle, but they're not really an uncle. They're like some second cousin freak or something. I don't know. It was bad. And once again, my mom tells us this later. She goes, oh, your uncle so-and-so? Not an uncle, but he was called Uncle so-and-so. Yeah, she's like, yeah, he was arrested for blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. And no wonder my parents were had a grip on they divided their kids and were stalking them through the family reunion. I will say though, the food was excellent. I still have memories about that. Then on my husband's side, oh God. Okay, this is in Texas, which means your family reunion is just going to suck if it's in Texas in the summer. They would have their family reunions outside in August in Texas. It's like, why don't you have your family reunion in hell? Because that's what it felt like at some dusty park, some just dusty dirt road park. When you're driving down it, it's just kicking up all the dust. I mean, it's just that alone is awful. You're sweating bullets, people. You're sweating bullets. So, and then it was a collection, of course, I don't know anybody. So the first time I go with my husband, we're married, we have no kids. And, I don't know anybody, which is fine. Never met a stranger, people. I've never met a stranger. But then all his I don't know, second aunts, third aunts, I don't know. A couple of women came up to me and I introduced myself, your name tag on. And they're like, Cliff's wife? Oh, his first wife was so much prettier. Let me just make it known now that my husband has never been married before. I am his one and only wife. And I was just like, okay, I am his first wife. I go, Cliff's never been married before. I'm like, I'm it. And they're like, no, he was. She was prettier, darling. I'm sorry. So, I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I was really busy working and doing all this stuff, so I didn't make food homemade. But everyone likes chicken, so I got a big bucket of chicken, really good chicken, okay? And put it in a different container because I'm not an idiot. It's not going to say KFC on it or Church's. Put it in a big, and brought chicken to family reunion. Oh my God, those women came for me. Because they found out, probably my mother-in-law told them, because she knew what I was doing, that it wasn't like home brined, like brined at home and then home fried. And then they started calling it my store chicken. She's like, I can't believe you have store chicken. I'm like, no, it's not store chicken. It's not from a store. Okay? So if there had been a scarlet letter for store chicken, I would have worn one. I don't know. I just imagine a big chicken on the front. I would have had to wear a scarlet letter for bringing store chicken to the family reunion when everything else there was made with lard. And, I'm not against lard. Do I use it? No. But God, lard in a pie crust, it's a little life-changing. It's delicious. So, there's lots of lard. Okay, people? So I was shunned. And then two of the aunts or whatever came up to me once it went through the reunion like wildfire that I had brought store chicken. And they came up to me and goes, Cliff's first wife never would have brought store chicken. And then they commented again how much she was prettier than me. And I just go, yes, that first wife is a beauty. Certainly a beauty. I just went with it. At that point. So the shunning had begun for me because of the store chicken. And it was just god awful. I just remember sweat. You know how sweat runs down your back and your underwear gets soggy and you're like, oh my God, I can't get out of here fast enough. And then the part I hate the most at any family reunion, when the families go and talk about themselves, they tell everybody what they've been doing for an entire year. No, I tell my husband, we're going to have to leave or I'm leaving and you're getting a ride. It's bad. It's really bad. What little Jimmy John did and, oh God. Can't do it. I cannot do it. And I'm telling you, the reason I can't do it is because it's painful. It is painful. Then we went back when we had kids. I have my two little kids with me. They were still little. I knew not to bring store freaking chicken. So we go back and people still think, I'm the second wife. Where's Cliff's first wife? Well, it's me, sadly. And then once people said it enough times, I just pretended he did have a first wife, which confused my kids greatly. They were like 8, and my daughter didn't get it. She was 4. My son was 8, and he's like, Dad was married before? And I'm like, no. I go, just go with it. It's easier just to go with it. So we went with that. And it was hot. It was sticky. Kids were running with sticks. And like with fire ants and then, I don't know, catching fire. Fire ants can kill you, people. It killed a neighbor of my mom's, but that's a story for a different time. It was god awful. Once again, always in August. Why? I don't understand that. So I'm never going to another family reunion again. That was the last family reunion my kids went to. So they have been to one. And what kills me is that I see like on social media, these people at their bougie ass family reunions, these beach family reunions, or these fancy like hotel resort family reunions. Sign me up for that, okay? Sign me up for that. But the rest of these family reunions, no, I can't do it. So anyways, I wrote about this I write a weekly column for a local newspaper. Y'all, people came for me that I told my family reunion story. I cleaned it up. I'm just being honest with you. The one I wrote was funny. Funny. Oh my God. They didn't like it. Like they said they felt sorry that for people that were in my family because I'm so bad. And I'm like, well, maybe they're not wrong. Okay, whatever. Get over it. Please, people. I was very nice and funny about family reunions. Not like I told you, okay? Because this is the cone of honesty. I'm being honest with you. But anyways, that's my family reunion story. Oh my God. Oh. So let me know. I'm sure all of you, the bitch who comments about how great their family reunion is where they go to Hawaii every year. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're just going to make me feel bad. And I don't need it. Okay, y'all, now we're going to talk about, and there's a family reunion in this book. Okay, Trouble in Texas is the second book I wrote. And y'all, it's an ode to my mother. It is an ode to my mother and my grandmother. Two huge characters. The character of my mom is based on that. So anyways, this mom takes her two kids, goes home to Texas, visit with her mom and dad, you know, all that kind of fun stuff, which you do in the summer. And her mom, who's a little kooky, a little crazy, has opened up a cupcake bakery. It's been her dream. It's been her dream. And of course, she's hired her daughters to friends from high school that were mean to her. And she's like, oh my God. But both of them are junior league dropouts. And the cupcake thing is right by the junior league. So the mother says, I'm like a junior league rehab center. These women get kicked out. They come to me. I give them work. What can I tell you? So the mother gets her daughter embarked in a scheme that is super funny. It's about revenge. It's about killer mold. It's about amorous goats. I mean, what more can you ask for? It's set in Texas. The dad's a retired sheriff. So lots of fun stuff going on. Lots of characters. There's a family reunion in this that will sound very similar to the family reunion I just described. So it's a super fun read. If you like books about family, if you like books about like friendships and like, you know, girls who hated you in high school and you're like, Mom, what are you doing? You're very disloyal. It's fun. You will like this. Oh, and cheating husbands that get their asses kicked. Who doesn't like that? Anyways, audiobook, ebook, paperback, go check it out. I hope you love it. And excuse me for hawking my books. Okay, now I need y'all's help on something. So if you're still with me, I am asking for advice. And the woman that wrote me the DM about hawking my books, you can weigh in. Okay, so I was told to get more viewers for your podcast, that you should do like an extra podcast, but only put it on YouTube, which drives people to your YouTube. But that sounds bad because I don't know, I'm conflicted because I don't watch my podcasts on YouTube. I listen to them when I'm doing other things. So I don't know if I like that idea. I don't. And then I've been told that I need to get a Patreon, which is where you do an extra podcast and then people can pay like $5 a month to hear your extra podcast or whatever. But I think it's too soon. I think that's very presumptuous of me to think that people would pay to listen like $5 a month to listen to an extra podcast every week. It's like, who am I? I'm just starting out. I don't know. But I get this stuff all the time. So you guys help me out. Would you do an extra podcast and put it on YouTube? My answer, like I said, it's no, because I don't listen to podcasts on YouTube, but I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. And the Patreon, too soon, right? Tell me if it's too soon. Okay. I appreciate you guys giving me time for part of your day. Let me know about that lack of activity in the bedroom letter, because you know I'm dying to read all of it. Let me know. Leave a comment. And let's continue the discussion in the comments. And I know if you listen on Apple like I do, I've never left a comment on Apple Podcasts because simply you can't. But you can always like DM me or whatever. Go over to YouTube. YouTube, you can leave like a bunch of comments. Go do that. But thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing part of your day with me. And as always, my snarky friends, just remember, you're fabulous. Everyone else, well, not so much. Okay? But you, fabulosity, 100%.